Hey, this is Chuck Rathman, technology editor for Iron Pros and for Construction Pros, here at the first Trimble Dimensions event in how many years, Pete?
4 years, yeah.
Yeah, that pandemic thing got in the way, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So, what I've seen you guys doing right now is catching your customers up on a lot of what has transpired over that time. I mean, we've been covering you guys, but some of these people might just be coming up to speed on what you've been doing. So what's the skinny on what's new at Trimble in that time?
Yeah, well, first off, as you said, this is our first event in 4 years. The pandemic got in the way. We used to do this conference every 2 years. We had a keynote session yesterday. There were probably more than 5,000 people in the room. Great presentations from our CEO, many of our senior leaders. Steve Wozniak gave a great presentation about the history of technology and from his vision to where we are today. We made some big announcements. We announced Trimble Construction Cloud. Let's talk more about that. Expo here, lots of great technologies from Trimble and many of our partners. You can even use mind control here behind us to get the race cars to start and stop. We're showing quantum technologies, lots of amazing things going on. But most of all for us, Chuck, this is about connecting with our customers. We all spend a lot of time hearing from our customers. They get to come here. They do presentations as well, right? And we learn from them, they learn from each other. This is a wonderful networking event.
What are some of the things that are net new as of right now at the event? What are some of the breaking news items?
Yeah, Trimble Construction Cloud is one of them that we've launched on Microsoft Azure, part of our strategic partnership with Microsoft that we announced about a year ago. And that's an enabler for us in something else that we've launched since we were last here together, which is Trimble Construction One, where our business historically has done great things for our customers across the whole asset lifecycle with, let's say, task-specific solutions, right? What we're doing with both the Trimble Construction Cloud and Trimble Construction One is connecting those things together, connecting data flow, connecting workflow. We see a lot of interest in that in the industry, and we see this as a direction in which the whole industry is going to move in the next wave of digital transformation. We announced some other things. We announced integration between Hilti's OnTrack and Vista, our ERP, Viewpoint Vista. That's important for customers we have a lot of common customers, and this integration enables them to track not only people and assign work to individuals, but also track those tools. You can assign equipment and tools to those people, but you also help track tools, track cost, including the tools. So this is an example of how we are integrating into the broader ecosystem.
What are some of the things that folks are going to be able to come away with from this? And what do you see in terms of the level of interest in the market and what you're doing here?
Yeah, so actually it's latest number I have is 5,750, which will be a record for us. I always believed there was going to be a lot of post-pandemic bounce back. We weren't entirely sure when we were setting up the event. But there's a lot of buzz, right? I think there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of optimism right now in the construction sector, despite what we hear in the doom and gloom in the press. As we come out of the pandemic, there are some things that will be sticky and will accelerate, I believe, the digital transformation of the industry. So connectivity is one thing, right? When we talk about the construction cloud, when we talk about workflows, data flows, a lot of that is about connecting together, but also connecting the site to the back office, the workflows. Many customers had to do those things in different ways, like we all did. All the meetings we had to do virtually and online. We have a lot more customers that were using connectivity in new ways during the pandemic out of necessity that now see the benefits of that, right? So,
well, in your role across all of construction in Trimble, you've got a lot of different solutions, in that estate, and in your customer base, likely. I mean, a lot of contractors are going to use multiple vendor solutions or have to integrate with solutions from their project partners, their subs, owners, generals. How is Trimble approaching the challenge of data standardization and interoperability across all that?
Trimble has this footprint that spans different core technologies, right? So we're in the design world. We do conceptual design, we do constructible design. We have a lot of technologies that are deployed on site, right? Like this equipment you see behind us, machine control. And we have a lot of technologies in the back office, in ERP and construction management. So our technology footprint is quite unique. And our stakeholder footprint is unique as well. We do a lot with the asset owners and clients. Yeah. We do a lot with the contractors, subcontractors, supply chain, and we do a lot with the design engineers and consulting engineers. So from our perspective, where we have so much opportunity in the industry to do things more efficiently and more sustainably, we have to connect those things together, not only within each of those stakeholders, but across the whole project. The only way I believe we can do that is through more data standardization. As an industry, if you compare our industry with other industries, think about the mobile phone industry, right? Yeah. You and I, Chuck, can go anywhere in the world, and it doesn't matter if you might be using Apple or Android, you might be using T-Mobile but you can basically go anywhere in the world and use your phone today. That's because of standards. People still compete within the industry, but they have standards that are good for everybody. I think my perspective on our industry is that we haven't adopted standards to the extent that we need to. No one vendor, that includes us as Trimble, is going to provide the whole solution for everybody. Construction is a mixed fleet world, and I mean that not just in technology, not just in equipment. I mean that in technology and in data. Most contractors, for example, are using technologies from different vendors. They have data which is defined by different vendors. To really unlock the potential that we have as an industry to improve our workflows, to improve our data flows, to remove the losses that occur in handovers, we have to be prepared to adopt standards. And certainly from Trimble's perspective, we're heavily engaged in Building Smart initiative, in IFC, in ISO standards that are being developed through the Association of Equipment Manufacturers. We will adopt standards, right? Yeah. We will be interoperable with the ecosystem out there, complementers, competitors, for the good of our customers. And I'd say that's a very deliberate strategic stance on our part, is that we believe that is the way to move the industry forward.
When I see Trimble, what I see is a company that has the footprint and the breadth across different sectors of construction. Yeah. Where do you see Trimble making a difference?
We emit about 25% of all the CO2, right? About a quarter of it is from construction and supply chain. We use almost a third of the energy. And it's a $15 trillion industry globally that by some studies, essentially wastes about $1.5 trillion a year, right? Yeah. So, when people ask me, what does Trimble really do at the heart of it in the construction world? We're going after those big problems, right? Meaning, where we can use technology, we're a technology company that has a broad footprint of technology capabilities, a broad stakeholder footprint. And what we're really trying to do is take that in combination with our domain knowledge. We understand the industries we're in, right? We have a lot of people. I came from the construction industry. Most of our people did. We want to bring our technology capabilities to really go after those problems. So specifically, if you look at, we're demonstrating an autonomous soil compactor here, right? Yeah. That just with automated steering, that's using technology, that reduces, controlled study we just did, that reduces carbon emissions from that vehicle by 25%. Wow. That's huge, right? That's also 25% fuel savings, which is right now is a really good thing. When I look at the deployed equipment fleet that we have as Trimble, and you add up the kind of impact we're already having, not just on cost, but on sustainability, that's big. So as we provide technologies to our industry that help our customers be more efficient, more sustainable, that often saves money, but also reduces environmental impact, right? So that's a win for everybody. The way we can do more there requires us as an industry to optimize not just a task and not just even a process, but to optimize the whole project, right? And that requires collaboration between the stakeholders, it requires interoperability, it requires data flow. But we have so much opportunity for that, Chuck. Yeah. We really do. In the last, let's say, 20 to 30 years, we've come a long way as an industry. If I look at, I started my career as a site surveyor, hammering stakes in the ground, right, using paper. Yeah. There's still a lot of that, actually, by the way. But
then you got the Civ Robotics robot over there that you've invested in.
Exactly, Civ. And we announced a partnership with Hewlett-Packard as well this week on robotic layout. We've come a long way as an industry, including in the back office and ERP, as well as on site, as well as in the digital design, BIM. You can have a beautiful BIM model, Chuck, but if you've got somebody on site using techniques that the Egyptians were familiar with, string, eyeballs, tape, plumb bob, there's still a lot of that.
Yeah.
That's your weak link. That's where mistakes get made,
Yeah.
right? So we see a lot of opportunity. You want that digital data flow right from the design to the point where the physical and digital worlds intersect. And that's where you're placing an object. That's when you're guiding the blade of a machine. And then back into the office so you can understand how you're progressing to your plan, your cost model, catch errors early, and then from there back into your estimating so you can get better at it, right? It's that workflow, that data loop. That's where we really see the industry moving. And we want to play a big role in that.
Well, I think you already are, and you will continue in the future, and that's why I'm going to be covering you guys like a blanket. And if you'd like to learn more about what Trimble has going on in this space, definitely keep coming back to Iron Pros and for Construction Pros, because we're going to try to tell the story on an ongoing basis, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Love it. We're here with Eric Krim. Eric is the lead on the machine control division for Trimble. And Eric, as we're here at this amazing offsite, what are some of the things that, for the folks that aren't here, but also for the folks that are streaming through, what are kind of like the big messages that you guys are kind of telling everybody, and what are the kind of the big things that you want everybody that visits this offsite to kind of walk away with?
Hey, we're back. Trimble's out. We're
Right.
back in Dimensions. That's one of the big messages. And I
Right.
think behind us is emerging tech, right?
Right.
We really want to show people the roadmap of where we want to be. We're showing technologies that you might not see on the sites today.
Yeah.
We're highlighting what you can and can't do. We've got autonomous machines. We've got remote controlled machines.
Yeah.
And we've got autonomous compactors, all doing things that we should be doing in the future and just getting customers excited about technology. It's been a while since we've had that face-to-face, and
Yeah.
I think just really reiterating where we want to be and that, we're out there and that this is the roadmap of where we want to go, and just real excited. We've got things like steering dozers, steering compactors. We got advanced attachments over here with excavators. It's just a lot going on, a lot of excitement, and a lot of new technology to express for these guys and get them connected again with us and where we're going with technology.
So the autonomous machines, those are actually moving right here behind us. We've got a Komatsu dozer that's just, kicking around without anybody in the seat.
Yeah.
A link belt excavator that's digging a trench with nobody in there. We've got a Dynapack roller over here just kind of doing its thing. There's lots of kind of skepticism around autonomy in general, or, discomfort maybe with like that kind of trend that's coming in. But it is coming. Why is it so important for the industry? How is autonomous and even semi-autonomous, right? Like the machine control solutions that we already have today. Why are those solutions so important to the future of construction?
It's the technology it brings to the industry, right?
Okay.
And it's going to be those technologies that are going to make it safer, more sustainable. It's going to make their processes more productive. And it's going to help contractors be more effective when they're doing their jobs, right?
Right.
This is where we want to be ultimately, right? But there's
Right.
going to be steps along the way. And those technologies, which you can see over here, are things we're already selling to customers today.
Right.
And it's those steps that are going to get us to this point, and that's what excites us and the customers. Now, I know this is a big leap for a lot of them, but they got to realize there's going to be steps to get to that point, and it's those technologies that are really going to help us.
Talk to us a little bit about the productivity and how autonomy is going to push productivity even further.
Yeah, so it's going to take, like you said, an operator that's running one single machine can now run 5 machines from a location that's remote from the site.
Yeah.
Right. So you're becoming more efficient with your men and women on your job site, right?
Right.
They're more effective. It's not that you need less people. They're just doing more things inside the company than just operating machines, right?
Right.
So it allows you to be more effective with your workforce. And right now it's really hard to find operators, right? So
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah.
training them and getting them up to speed. So if you have one individual that can operate 5 machines, that's great for a company.
To have the autonomy, to have the machine control, obviously to have really all of the trappings of a digitized job site and into that, as we're moving toward that future, right, is connectivity and
Correct.
getting job sites connected, networking these machines. How has that kind of the idea of the connected job site, how has that advanced in the last few years? And as people are kind of coming through Dimensions, what are the big things that you guys are telling them about or want them to know about the connected job site and how to actually make that possible?
The biggest thing I want them to know is that it's absolutely necessary if we want to get to this phase.
Right, yeah.
For autonomous sites, we need that data. Data is what all customers need to help make decisions, right?
Right.
And for us at Trimble, it's connecting the people, their process, and all throughout their phases of the project, right?
Yeah.
Right now, a lot of companies will run siloed with their individual processes, and what we're trying to do is connect those,
Yes.
right? I'm a
Right.
machine control guy. I love machine control. It's where I'm really close to it.
Yeah.
But that's just one piece of the entire construction process,
Absolutely.
right? So at Trimble, as part of my job, I'm asked to be a part of that solution, help get that data back to the office, help get it in the hands of those people that can make decisions so they're being more proactive and not reactive.
As you guys kind of move forward, what are the big problems that you're kind of hoping to help contractors solve?
I think right now a lot of it is going to be sustainability.
Okay.
We know there's a lot of work out there to be done, but doing it in a sustainable way.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we believe machine control is going to do that for them.
Sure, yeah.
And other aspects of technology, it's not just machine control as well. I think the other bit of it is quality, the quality of the work they're doing, right?
That's a big one.
When you have automated tasks and things that are going to do it with a more algorithm-based process, the quality will go up, and we will learn from the data we collect from experienced operators and from existing job sites on how to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And the last one I'd be is just, helping them be cost effective, right?
Sure.
Making sure that they're doing it in the right way and they're not more efficiency, like you mentioned, the operators, and having that staff on site and using them effectively so they're not overrunning jobs and outbidding or overbidding to where they're outside that market.
Yeah, I mean, those are really kind of the big things, and that's why it's so exciting to kind of see this stuff in action, here in 2022, because the consistency of the quality, the higher quality is going to go up, the consistency of that quality, the bonuses are going to come in a lot more frequently. It's really kind of cool to see this stuff in action today here at the offsite. So guys, thank you so much for joining us for this quick look at the offsite of Trimble Dimensions 2022. Eric, man, thank you so much for joining us to take us through everything.
Yep.
Guys, stay tuned for more coverage here from Trimble Dimensions.